So it all comes out.
Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamspeare's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense.
When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garredip's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodations.
Because Selden's room had already been let out to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross.
Duncan lost? Oh no! The pun! Because his life was lost. Ah!
But his name already was a pun!
Which is why Mr. Shamspeare subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupants of...
All of my plots are gas-based.
And I don't know if you can hear my dog howling, but
Not
it
really.
is what it is. And
A little.
when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant...
However... Yeah, we can hear dog.
I'm a mute, give me a second.
A certain jittery someone had beaten him to it.
Mr. Sasuke Natsume, defender of this case, no less.
So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspeare? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason. God, that's a hard word to say. To get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. Ugh, you... Ugh! Ugh!
Ba, 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 ba. I heard everything, I just...
This is... You can read this one.
Oh.
Ah,
What?
faster!
But looks like I'm gonna snuff it. Listen, I want you to have me loot anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Here, this is the key to it. Try and get... sorry, I'm not done yet. I always stay one step ahead. See you in hell, I guess. Shakespeare.
I like to think he was really laughing during all that, too.
Probably.
It's mine. What did he just say? It's mine. That loot is mine.
Oh.
Mr. Shamspeare. It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me, for the time being, anyway. Verily, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I'm so close, I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up? There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through.
But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruto.
There is a way.
Pardon?
There's one way I can finish him.
Oh, no!
He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot. Which means all we need to do is find it first.
A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed.
Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule.
If only...
If only, if there's only some way we could find the victim quickly.
This is the final piece in this complex puzzle, but I think we might have it in our possession already. Or rather, I think we may well have something that can help us find where this loot is hidden. My lord.
Yes, Counsel.
The defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we are already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off then.
Very well then, Counsel. The court hear your idea. What do you propose we could use in order to locate the hiding place of the deceased convict's hull?
I know what it is, I just...
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I didn't think we got that as evidence.
What is it?
It's that the whole thing to do skin prints.
Skin prints?
Yeah. Go
Okay.
go to the other thing. I guess it's not. Do we use a picture showing that skin prints are a thing?
Do you want to try that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shakespeare's handprints on the wall of his lodgings.
That's right, my lord. Expose the result to the defense's independent investigation of the scene.
Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science and the great detective, Mr. Sholmes.
A great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? I don't know.
I should thank the great bard to recognize such a title when he hears one. Shakespeare.
Yeah, it is.
Well, perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. Shakespeare. Sholmes is
'Tis Herlock
Wow.
Sholmes himself.
Unless Shamsir's like tall.
What?
Unless Shamsir's like taller than usual, Sholmes is like shorter than usual. He's like a
Is
very
he?
tall man. It didn't seem compared to the two of them.
JD beat you to what bad joke?
He's a sham. What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are filthy back streets of the capital, are they not?
Okay, yeah, you were right, Inheritance. The Shakespeare pun.
Ha ha ha! Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since we last met.
Mr. Sholmes. He does know Lord Van Zeeks then. Well enough to say something like that in any case.
You're pale.
Mr. Sholmes. He may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large.
Oh my god, give me a second. I got another joke. Whoa. You look like you've been living in a room painted entirely black.
God. I feel attacked.
That does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit.
If I may, my lord. Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us to uncover vital clues in this case already.
Clues, you say?
I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual and It's the method by which we're able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activity.
Ah!
You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. That's so vague. Of course it's not going to be admissible in court. In your case, I used a teacup. You had been elementary. So now, Mr. Naruto.
Ah, yes?
What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time?
Thank you for offering help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Saseki-san's room. We need a sample to help locate Selden's loot that was hidden in his old room. What form would the sample take?
Oh.
What?
Oh. Oh. Can I see the court record? Oh, man. I want to say it's a person.
Think it's a person?
I think it's a person.
Is that a person?
Yeah. Sure.
We'll need something at Selden's in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And something the convict owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record.
Upon my word, Mr. Naruto, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. On the up and up. Up. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain the possession of the late convict's altar to create the indicator solution? Olive Green. I'm disappointed.
Oh, wait! Go back!
Oh, you had to make the dumb option this time!
Yeah!
Oh, you forgot!
It's fine. There was like 3 lines of text here.
Oh, okay. Who do we have to pick?
Anybody but Olive Green.
Oh, then do Shamsphere. Thank you.
Oh, well, wait a second. Man, I thought we'd finish this case quicker, but...
And pray, what does said person possess that can be applicable to our purpose? Let's hear your new and improved powers of reasonings at work, my dear fellow. Dear me, your left eye just twitch. Are you currently concocting an elaborate excuse? Now, some clever Japanese joke about a wet noodle, I hope. Is there a clever joke about a wet noodle?
You got me! The Noodler. That was the achievement.
The Noodler! I think we need to reconsider this from the side, Mr. Naruto.
How do I feel as though Seta-san is studying my left eye now?
I'm ready and waiting, Mr. Naruto. The rest is in your hands. From whom can we obtain possession? Agreed.
Miss Green.
Me? What do you want with me?
The key around your neck, if you please.
Sorry?
That key belonged to Selden. There would be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on its surface that we could use.
Secretions. Ugh. Very true.
That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent. Ah!
Mr. Shakespeare, as one great to another, I assure you. But do the convicts always in someone informer's lodgings? I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes.
So, Mr. Shakespeare, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, You'll never get your hands on stolen wealth. Ugh, ugh, ugh!
In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Jones have this key.
No, give the key to me. The detective shan't have it. It's over, Mr. Shakespeare. No, no! You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit to your guilt. Whoa! Oh, shameful spear! Despair!
Is he getting hit
By
by
thy
the
name!
confetti cannon?
I guess.
Somebody like really vindictively just like aiming the confetti cannons at him. That was a really good one.
Probably olive green.
Probably. I really liked that defeat animation. It was very elaborate.
Yeah. Took 3 shots, Shady. Yeah, it took it like a champ. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room. That's all. So you'd have to find the convict's haul of stolen goods.
Yet after you'd killed the young man, you didn't move into the room.
I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent, for one thing. Mr. Gerda really has had a lot to put up with. And he has the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then, this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease.
Poor Mr. Natsume. What an unfortunate timing.
Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance, but it wasn't to be.
Somebody else would have been able to move in. Ugh, so dumb. No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day. And if I remember rightly, Mr. Jones spent the whole day in there reading books.
I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove in his room.
Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. William Shakespeare. How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question. From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1.
Surprised he didn't say the line.
I'm well educated. Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done. Forsooth, what shame hath this man brought upon his own house?
What spear has this man brought upon?
At first, I really didn't think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died. Who's voicing Duncan? Is it me? Do you want me to do it?
I'll voice it because he's talking to Olive. How do I want to? The gas supply and no logic are a complete disaster, you know, Olive.
Oh my god! The gas supply?
Yes, the stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason.
That's no joke.
They say it's a convict's curse.
Oh, Duncan, please, don't stay there. Look at how cheap it is.
Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place.
There's spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight?
No, I better not. We said we'd wait until we graduated before we told our parents, remember?
Yikes. Oof. Oh, no.
Well, we graduated.
But-
Just not from art school.
Oh, God. You've graduated from life. This is rough. Like, I'm feeling it. But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. It's a big Roblox death noise moment. You know, it's a big oof. Oof. If only I'd known what was going to happen. I had insisted he left the horrible room that instant. You did insist.
Mario death animation.
No! Mamma mia!
No continuous.
I'm a loser. But instead, all I've been left behind is bitter regret. I stopped going to school. But something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stupid decent-looking man with a mustache coming out there.
Dragon, I love those long death sequences from Mario Maker. Just like what's happening.
He walked the road to Grub's Grubbery for some food, so I followed and sat myself down next to him. Had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican.
This place is cursed, I tell you. Cursed! The ghost of the convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me. I wake up in the middle of the night freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked. No problem there. It's like I'm the problem. That's what they're thinking.
Is this olive green?
But how?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that was her.
Yeah.
But how could that be? Duncan was gone, and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered. Rumor I heard about how the gas companies go around investigating the gas installations.
Rumor? You mean...
Yes, everyone's heard the stories, it seems, how they go around checking the pipes. How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework. That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I'd had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. Played me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End.
Hey, black market.
It was what was the name of the little street urchin from the first game? It was her. She sold it to her.
Lestrade? Gina Lestrade?
Yeah. Gina.
Lestrade?
Yeah. It's like, oh, I bet you want something to kill someone. I got it. It'll cost you a penny. She literally hands her. Oh, I guess I spoke too soon. Here you go. I had never been. I just heard people talk about them. Can you really... Are you And you really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I could see that. To find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident, or was it murder? Oh! Oh! That's fair, yeah, because if he wasn't blowing in the pipes, then he would have died.
Yeah, but what about when eventually some worker has to check on the pipes there?
Oh, that's I shouldn't take that far ahead. But I'm saying that's very fair though for her. Like when you're thinking about things in that way, that's logical. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, also I'm sure that maybe not, but I'm sure that even though I'm not sure, I'm gonna say that I'm sure that they probably have some hygienic practice of like wiping it down or something. I don't know. Maybe they have a tool.
I'm pretty sure they're not like, that.
And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with, and wait.
If Mr. Shamspeare was innocent, nothing would have come of what you've done.
Except for the people employed!
But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly.
Found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shamspeare. Then I wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. See, they did a good job hiding the fact that she was the one who wrote it, because I really did think that somebody wrote it to her.
Yeah, I think I thought that initially too.
Yeah. And if he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough to be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked. And of course, Mr. Shamspeare followed the instruction to the letter. Literally. He followed the instructions to the letter, and he followed the instructions that the letter had inside of it.
It's
I
a
worked
pun.
out with the gas pipe one straight away. How did she reach? That's so high up. She little dumpy.
She jumped. She didn't have to put her mouth up there. She just had to like dab.
Dab.
Dragon said, then because she was stabbed from the other case, she never met him there. I think she never intended to actually meet him at the Slug and Salad. It was just to get him out.
Yeah, I think she was leaving the premises. So I smeared a good amount of the poison I'd brought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done, that it was just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done, and that the culprit would get his just desserts. I don't know. I guess it's attempted murder, right? Like that's what she's gonna get tried for.
That is attempted murder.
I mean, but
she's not gonna get tried for murder, at least.
She just should have just picked a less like just something to give them like massive diarrhea or something. You know.
Yeah, but she wanted vengeance. She wanted revenge. She wanted an eye for an eye. Everybody grieves in different ways.
You're not wrong.
3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dark before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward.
Yes, my lord.
I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should subsequently find lurking behind the scenes.
It's been a long road, my Nipponese friend.
Oh, yes.
One, I certainly don't didn't envision walking with you.
Nevertheless, together we have reached light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green.
Yes, my lord?
You will henceforth be stripped of your freedom, as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shakespeare.
Doesn't she get a trial?
I was gonna say, that's a weird... I guess not, if she confessed.
Don't you still get a trial even if you confessed or something?
You should, yes. Like, under current law, even if you confess to a crime, there's still a trial because they have to establish that you're not just confessing. Just for the sake of it. You know,
Yeah, you're not being coerced into it, and as well as establish what kind of punishment you should get for it.
Exactly. Like the severity of the attempted murder and stuff like that. In current court, that's how it would work. In the game,
you, Mr. Shakespeare, you'll be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood.
He's going to be tried.
Yeah, no, that's kind of messed up. If this was a
he still
podcast,
he did admit it. Like, he still admitted it too.
Yeah. No. Yeah, if this is a T-rated stream, I would drop the one F-bomb that you're allowed to say.
The stream
is very F-bombed up.
The stream is marked for adults, so
it's fine. I don't want to use my sailor's tongue here.
Subsequent attempted murder, Mr. Saseki Natsume here present.
Shady says he'll use it. And it says, please let me use it. You can use it, Shady.
Mr. Naruto.
Let me know if Shady uses
yes.
it.
Yesterday at the hospital, when you and your friend stopped me from
ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle. Let me just tell that to everybody.
Wow.
Also, Dragon made SpongeBob dolphin noises.
Nice.
I wasn't myself.
It's not you're not yourself when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
No, they haven't invented Snickers yet. What is she gonna do?
Invent
She's
Snickers.
never gonna be herself. She has to invent Snickers. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. If only there was some chocolatey nougat treat that I could consume. But no, to be or not to be, I suppose.
I'm just envisioning like the darkest, most messed up Snickers commercial ever now.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to describe it.
murder.
I'm not sure. Yeah, murder. That's fine.
Oh, okay. You were going darker. Oof.
It's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems.
Wait. What?
Well, personally, I'm glad you're being here, Miss Green. What? What are you confused about?
No. It's fine. I feel like it's to be or not to be. It's Shakespeare. It's Romeo and Juliet, right?
Hamlet. We just were told via.
Okay. Sure.
Act 3, Scene 1.
Act 2. Yeah, I'm thinking of Act 2, Scene 2 of Romeo and Juliet. The Romeo, we're for out there, Romeo, that which we call a rose by any other name, yada yada. That's what I was thinking
but
about.
Soft, what light beyond thy window breaks. It is the west.
It is the east.
It is the east.
Oh, no!
Dang it! No, wrong way. I looked too far away from the sun. Wait, no, that lad. No, I don't know. Am I looking at the sun? I don't know. Juliet is the sun.
I mean, that would be more poignant if you were facing the east. If you were facing the west, and Juliet was the sun. Be like, wait, what? Is it setting? Am I a setting sun? That's not. Oh,
Dragon said it is Weast.
it is East. I thought you said West. Dragon coming in hot with all the SpongeBob memes.
Careful, we don't want to get DMCA'd by SpongeBob.
But by SpongeBob himself.
I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shakespeare didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least.
Aww. You're jumping. You're jumping. Because of you, I chose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out at last. You can. Oh, really? I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green.
Mr. Sasaki Natsume.
Yes, my lord.
The court declares you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty.
I think it's still guilty. Well, fine. We are in full agreement, my lord.
In that case, I hereby declare the defendant.
All of a sudden we hear one voice.
Wait, let him hang! Let him hang! Death for his sins!
But he's not guilty, Potato!
Everyone's guilty of something.
Oh, that's so funny.
Court is adjourned.
Oh, the characterization we've given this little potato of a man has filled me with such unbridled joy.
Everyone must die.
Can't breathe.
Oh, yes, yes, at last. The man justice duly done.
Divine justice? My dear fellow, if there are any divine justice in this world, you should shave that mustache.
No, this has nothing to do with my mustache.
It's a great mustache. Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Jones.
Locum student Nohodo Esquire, once again, you saved me from doom.
Shady said, Potato Mask, totally a corn worshipper. Can picture him killing for the blood god. Very happy to have been of help, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. Your second in almost as many days.
I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived life through friendly old books.
Ugh, that's relatable. For those who don't know, I cross-country moved for very similar reasons very recently. So I feel that. You've had such a difficult time, haven't you?
Yeah, it was from a very foreign country, too.
Oh, I mean, it definitely felt like it.
But a week ago now, I dragged you to that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not?
You did, and I've seen more of life in this week than all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog.
My dear fellow, There's nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Well, wheresoever the world humans is, and there are a few genuine differences.
I don't think that's what he means. Oh, he does.
Yes, I think you're right.
I thought the whole point was that I've finally seen the true face of the English. I hate it here. Everyone sucks.
No, he sees that places are people are people.
I guess so. I really thought that Soseki was gonna like upend it.
I've finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live.
Well said. I've come to feel the same way.
I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan.
What?
What? Oh, this is such a shocking turn. I was not aware that this was going to happen.
Just when we become friends here in England. What a terrible shame.
Oh, I know. That does tug at my heartstrings. It really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learnt here in Britain and write something of my own. A novel of sorts, I suppose.
Oh my, so you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume? How wonderful.
Oh, well, no. I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature.
It's manga. Oh, deep cut.
He's
No, don't say it. Don't bring it into this world.
he's her ancestor.
I wonder where she got the pink hair from. Just slowly over time.
Iris.
Oh no! You said it again. Oh, you've confirmed your own hypothesis. You've game theoried us into the darkest timeline, and I hate every second of it.
I mean, I'm not enjoying it here either, but
how dare you? I hate it here. Oh, why would now it all makes sense? Now it's true. And you've made it so.
Well, why not? That's precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache.
I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. But as of now, all I know is that I'd like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur.
I, for one, would love to read your work. Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you've once again emerged victorious from a battle with the Reaper.
ah, that's very true.
And there's no salvation.
So rude.
And there's no salvation for the person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor.
Jesus, saying it's so mean sounding.
The desire to return post-haste to be the perceived safety of your home is one I quite understand. My goodness, yes. Faced with such a terrifying prospect, nobody would consider that cowardly. I'm quite sure.
I'm having fun with it.
But that's not why I'm leaving. I mean it.
Oh, sure.
Objection!
He manifested a physical representation of his objection. Is this me?
And that was the case that we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Soseki-san did indeed
that
return.
was the case when we found ourselves.
No, this is me.
No, I know. I was just gonna say it in echo. Because she's
Soseki-san
writing it from the other room.
did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikitobo was prompted to visit the scholar, and barely any time later, Suzato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well, on the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial, on the following day. The day that we uncovered the loot, hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings.
How is that the responsibility of Ryonosuke?
Because Sholmes really wanted to find it.
Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. How simply marvelous of you. To uncover the secret hiding place in just one day.
Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes?
As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful as operations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson?
Gregory has been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Harley. Happily? I think perhaps humorlessly might be closer to the truth.
So, it transpires that the man fashioned in a hiding place in the ceiling.
And what's in it? What exactly is the loot?
Let us look then, if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hole.
What is that?
Oh, it's the Hounds of Baskervilles.
It looks to be some sort of necklace or collar.
A collar? It's huge though.
And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps it could be in a belt?
Iris, how do you not know what it is?
What do you mean what it is? They're talking about how big it is though.
It's a dog collar.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
what I'm
massive,
saying.
they said.
It's a massive dog collar. Huh.
Have you noticed the inside there? There's some dark stains.
Is it a belt?
You don't think they could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it.
Is it a human-sized dog? Or a dog-sized human?
On second
Or
thought.
duck-sized human?
Real quick,
Or
would you want to fight one duck-sized horse or 100 horse-sized ducks?
or one duck-shaped human?
Or one duck-shaped human? That's like nightmarish. I'm a duck-shaped human, but I'm a scream.
It's like, end me!
Okay.
On second thoughts, though, perhaps I won't have it as a belt. Then, of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown.
It's actually
What does it signify, do you think?
Mirror B's belt from Pokemon Coliseum. Samba.
I don't know.
You don't know Pokemon Coliseum?
I'm joking. That's literally one of my intro music. Is his theme.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Okay. Iris.
I had another set.
Listen,
Shady, we don't
Mirror
talk
B's the
about
only
Bruno.
we don't talk about Bruno.
Said it's Bruno's belt.
Oh no, we don't talk about Bruno. We have sorry.
I feel
We-
like I've seen
we have
that
what?
before, you know. Where could it have been?
Listen, I'm vibing now.
We have
I'm
a what?
vibing.
What do you
We have
have?
a theory. Sorry, yeah, we have a theory that Luca takes place in the same universe as
I haven't seen.
whatchamacallit?
I haven't seen Luca yet.
Encanto,
Encanto?
because something that one of the characters says is "Silencio, Bruno," and I'm
Ah.
like, oh, they're referring to the same Bruno.
Yeah, I know the Silencio Bruno
We don't
thing.
talk about Bruno. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
That's enough of that, I think.
What? What's the matter with Mr. Shrums? All the color has drained from his face.
It would have been nice if they...
Oh, Dragon, I was thinking
Animated.
of Pokemon too, but now I think with that Bruno, I think we don't talk about Bruno, because he's kind of the worst Elite Four member. Oops.
Yeah, is the one that's a fighting type and has 2 Onyxes. Is that Bruno? Am I thinking of the same Bruno?
Yeah, also their moves off all his Pokemon are really awful. He's like a complete pushover.
Yeah.
Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this. Shoot. It could be valuable evidence after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key.
Yes. Yeah, grab your hands off that, you lot. Hand over, now.
They're in it together. They know something we don't.
I've never seen a collar that large before, and all those jewels certainly look to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least, not once I'd noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. Could they really have been blood?
Blood?
But while we wait, I bought Ube ice cream with cheese in it. It's great. It actually tastes really good.
I won't have it.
You don't think you're gonna like it?
Too much fat and sugar for me.
Fair enough.
Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now.
And you look very pleased, Iris.
I am, because I'm starting to wonder what I could use as a basis for this month's story in the magazine. But this case would be perfect. It's been so fascinating.
You're talking about the latest installment of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume?
The mystery of the knife in the mist and the mustache man and the convict's curse, perhaps. I could make it a 2-part story. Oh, I can't wait.
A word, please, Iris.
Yes, what is it, Riley?
I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question.
What? Why not? It's a great case.
Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your 2 titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear?
Yes.
And so it was that the second of
Whoa!
Soseki's cases became buried
Whoa!
in obscurity.
What?
Whoa!
What? I'm reading it.
Oh,
It's me.
so talented!
Now looking back, I feel I understand.
What do you mean? It sounds the same as always.
I can see
It's just the audio mixing.
publishing the story.
Like, I really like how you
would take
fixed
a
it
little
in
longer
real quick.
before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident
You know
that took
what?
place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
I'm gonna say something bold and controversial, but very brave of me, and it's
Bold
only
and brash.
relevant. It's only relevant to people who know us personally. Ryunosuke's voice actor sounds very similar to Nero's husband. Like enough that like I could be like, oh, you voiced this character.